How you doing? Bobby Dirkens here. Thank you so much for joining me for this breaking news in college football. If you don't know me, I'm Bobby Dirkens. What else is there to know? I'm Bobby Dirkens. You're Bobby Dirkens Jr. Upstairs. Hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, if Clemson is overrated, who do they play? Who do they play? I don't know who they play. They're horrible. We got Tim Tebow, who I even like, going. It's very disappointing where they're ranked right now. And let me tell you this, I understand last season is over, but when your team returns the majority of their team and they return all of their coaching staff, and you have the thinking heads, the talking heads, the brains of college football on all these major meetings. And listen to me right now, before you go and take up for them and all this bunch of stuff, realize they make way more money than me and you just sit there and talk about football. So you would think that unless they're trying to be funny, unless they are trying to be just stir the pot, if they want to have any influence on any of us, if they want to, for any of us to trust them, you would think they would at least barf up something that's good. So they're sitting there telling us Clemson's not that good. Clemson is not that good. They're not that good. And I'm sitting here watching Alabama. And I know Alabama's probably going to turn on in the second half, but I'm watching Alabama struggle with a team. No offense to Volunteer Roadshow. Struggle with a team who's horrible. Tennessee is absolutely horrible. Tennessee looks like if you went to the local chapter of the Southern Baptist Women's Choir, line them up, in football uniforms and played somebody. And Alabama struggled. And let me tell you right now, Alabama could win the game right now, 21-10. It all be done with. And I'm going to tell you tonight, and Wednesday, let me tell you what's going to happen. All the talking heads of all these big networks are going to be sitting there going, Alabama come out and won in a very strong fashion. Nick Saban, Tua Tagovailoa. We love to prove that we can actually pronounce his name. Tua Tagovailoa. Tua Tagovailoa. I think he's got a brother on the team. Tua Tagovailoa. And then he's got a cousin. Tua Tagovailoa. Listen, I like Tua. I actually like him. I think he comes from a good family. I'm just having a little fun there. But my point in all of this is this. Alabama could win right now 21-10. Nobody would even go out of their way to question whether Alabama is overrated. Maybe Alabama has some crap to work on. When just 8.5 months ago, Clemson beat their brains in by 4 touchdowns. Listen to me, with the majority of the team that Clemson has right now. And they're not like Alabama, who changes their coaches like I change underwear. In fact, I change underwear between you and I, according to what I've been doing, maybe even twice per day. Alabama somehow changes coaches way more than that. You ask a player at Alabama, you ask an offensive player who has been there for 3 years, who's been your offensive, who's your offensive coordinator while you're there? They'll name 3 people. A bunch of you on here. The diplomat, the scholar, One of my good friends, Pigskin Pete, he's on here. I see him right now. The genius, the brilliant. Let me tell you right now, if you don't know Pigskin Pete, what on the Lord's green earth do you know? Go find him right now, Pigskin Pete. Go subscribe to him. Listen to me. Don't go subscribe to him and not watch him. That'd be dumb. That's like being given the keys to a Ferrari, but never unlocking the car and cranking it up and driving it. You go, you find him right now, you do your thing. Redneck Bulldogs at here. He says at least Georgia won tonight. George is in here. Sean D is in here. We got a bunch of people in here. Y'all forgive me because, let me see, Tiger Ravens in here. Jude Sansang. What's my thoughts on Wisconsin? They lost. It's over with. Michael Norwood's in here. Says, North Carolina, need I say more? Yeah, we still won that game, unlike South Carolina, who, though they beat Georgia, still lost that game. Tiger Nation, my buddy, my brother from a different mother. He's in here. Chops is in here. He's a Seneca. Tigers Raven, 2018, is in here. There's a bunch of you in here. Right now, I'm watching the Alabama-Tennessee game. And listen to me, I'm not a moron. Maybe I am. I know that there's no way in a cold, frosty day in hell Tennessee's going to win this game. It ain't. And if it does, hey, I'm happy. It's not going to happen. Alabama's going to kick in overdrive. They're going to beat them. Clemson Carson. Good to see you. I'm just saying. That's pass interference on Bama. I'm just saying this. And I want you to hear me. If Alabama won this game 21-10 right now, did they drop in the rankings? I don't think so. Clemson does. But being Pigskin Pete, we agree on this 100%. Now, Pigskin, he's more of a conference guy, and I respect that 100%. All right? I respect it. You know, I'm not really a conference guy. And the reason I'm so like, ish about it is because I get so tired of these SECers. And you know what I mean. Pigskin is not like that. I'm just saying that's kind of why I am the way I am. Tiger Nate's in here, Sean D. Sean D asked me this question, said, what do you think about the punch that was thrown by Andrew Booth? That was stupid. I was at the Florida State game last week. I saw we scored a pick six with Darian Kendrick. Darian Kendrick, he picked off the ball and ran it back for a touchdown. I don't know what happened to Kayvon Wallace. I don't know if he had an aneurysm. I don't know if maybe he had a little doo-doo streak in his pants. No, somebody just asked, is Pete you an ACC homer? No, he is not ACC homer. He respects more of the conference of how they go out and do and so on. So that's what I mean by that. I'm not picking it. That's my buddy. Pigskin Pete's my buddy. Let me tell you right now, right, wrong, or indifferent, unless he's punching a baby, if Pigskin Pete needs my help in a fight in a bar, I'm there, buddy. I'm swinging. I ain't even asking. We'll talk later. I'm just saying, that's my buddy. He is a Tiger first and foremost. That's what he's saying. So I didn't mean that bad. He knows me. He knows me. But this is what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm trying to say. Heck, what am I trying to say? Andrew Booth, the punch. He should be ejected. I was very annoyed. I was very, very annoyed with Kayvon Wallace last week. He run down there. He run down there in front of a Florida State fan, or a Florida State player, after Kendrick run back a touchdown, and taunted him for 5 to 10 seconds. Seriously. I watched it. When they threw the flag, all the Clemson fans going, boo, blank, boo, blank. They're losing their mind and everything. And I go, I'm embarrassed. Eject him. And then Andrew Booth does what he does today. Listen to me. Unless somebody called him an ethnic slur, there's no reason to throw a punch. There's no, listen to me. If your motor's running that hard, that means you're out of control. There's no reason to throw a punch. I'm glad he was ejected. Maybe it will teach him a lesson. He's young. He's a freshman. It doesn't mean that he's wasted. It does not mean that I don't like him. I'm telling you. Andrew Booth needs to pull it together. I mean, but then again, we got to remember that Christian Wilkins gave somebody a prostate exam in front of God and everybody when he was playing in the college football playoff. Right now, Alabama is. I'm proud of Tennessee. How well they're playing right now. All the crap that's going on with them. It's just. I'm proud of them how they're doing. Larisha's in here, may there to you. Got Halo in here. Got Redneck Bulldog. He says he hopes they have a major coming out party in Jacksonville. Yeah, I'll tell you right now, I don't expect y'all to roll over and die. Larisha says, can you say, May there, Griffin? May there, Griffin? I hope that was right. Kevin Blackman's in here. Hunter Porth. Sean D says, what if Tennessee wins? You'll have all the talking heads committing suicide. Here's my deal. A lot of y'all talk about Feinbaum. I've talked about, now if you're new here and you don't know me, that's fine. Somebody just said, Jesse Stace said, the only thing overrated is your quarterback. I'll take him at 25% over even Tua. We saw what he did to him as a true freshman. So that's fine. I love the trash talk. That's hilarious. That's wonderful. It was only 8.5 months ago that Clemson absolutely castrated Alabama. So as much as the media and other people in the SEC wants to, well, that's the other season. Yeah, I'll take him any day. Tua just threw the ball right to a Tennessee player. I don't know what the crap is going on there. I don't know why anybody would tank for Tua. I'd tank for Trevor. I wouldn't tank for Tua. I mean, he's, 5'11", and very few short players do quite well in the NFL. I know you'll name out a couple, and he'll be like, hey, what about this? Do the percentages. It works. It works. Eight and a half months ago. I'm telling you. It is what it is. Seeing Tennessee punt. So let's talk about today. Right now, as of right now, Penn State has a pretty commanding lead over Michigan. Thank God Michigan is done. How many here watched my preseason Michigan deal? I did, of course, because I like to watch it. How many people remember when I said that Michigan is today's 1990s, mid-90s Arizona? If you didn't, go back and watch it. They're the 90s. They're the Arizona of the 90s. For some of you who are younger viewers and you're not as old as me, I was born in 82. I'll be 37 in a couple of weeks. Happy birthday, Bobby Dirkens. The truth is that I watched every year from about 93-ish to about 95, maybe 96. Sports Illustrated would come out, and man, it's not like it is today, to where you have all this goodness on the internet. You can see, Fox Sports, ESPN, CBS. You can go through all these sites, 247, all that much stuff, and it's great. It's really enjoyable. I read it. I know you do too. But you had to wait for that magazine to come out. And on the front of it, listen to me, on the front of it, there was one year, it was Arizona. And man, they had their toughest and their biggest. They're there and they're looking tough and they're looking mean and we're going to win the national championship. And oh, there was this spread about how great they were. I think they barely finished in the top 25. Year after flipping year, we had to listen to that. Michigan has been that way. And I was on a show, I won't even call the name of the show, but I was on a show a couple of months ago where somebody had me as a guest. They're not a Tiger fan, and they're good people. I really like, I'm not dogging them. But you could tell they questioned what I said when I said Stanford's the same way. Stanford gets shoved down our throats all the time. Except for maybe a year or two. Has Stanford really been that good? Or have they just been an okay football team? I didn't talk about the players on their team. I believe Cam Akers is one of the top football players in the country, and he plays for the Florida State Seminoles, which I can't believe this. I feel like I'm having an aneurysm. Is one of the worst college football teams in the country. I'm not talking about a Christian McCaffrey played for him. I'm not talking about that Arcega White or whatever his name is on the team. I'm not talking about if Costello played for him. I'm not talking about those guys. I'm talking about the entire flipping team. I'm tired of being told how good they are, and they're not. Right now, if you're paying attention, about 4 minutes remaining in the game, Texas is tied with Kansas. Now, I want to ask y'all this question. If Texas loses this flipping game, can we take away from the win that LSU had against them? And the answer is, if you use your brain and not the crust around your butthole, yes. A bunch of people are saying right now that Tua is gone. I'm seeing he's going to the injury tent. Yeah, he twisted his ankle. At least twisted his ankle. Larisha M. said $2 from Griffin. You tell Griffin, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that $2. And let me tell you what I'm going to do with that $2. I am going to, I would like to say that I'd buy an ice cold beer, but you know what? I might put it towards something like a Christmas tree ornament. Something nice. You know, one of the good ones at Walmart. Tell Griffin, thank you. Thank you, Larisha. I appreciate it. Larisha, let me tell you this. Larisha, every time she shows up, it's always a good time. Have a good time. Got a bunch of you in here saying, may there tell me. Tiger Raven says, I hope Kansas upset Texas. It's bittersweet for me because I like Tom Herman. Here's what I don't like. I don't like it when you start off the season telling me how great a team is just because they have history. And for all of my viewers here who watches me day in and day out. Now, man, I tell you this, I got some good people on here come on here and watches me. And I appreciate it. I appreciate any time you give me. I know some of my videos kind of get long. You don't get to see all of them. Lord, I don't even get to see all of them. But I want you to hear this. I want you to hear this. I appreciate it. Anytime you come on here and you just help me, it's just good, and you give me time. I really do appreciate it. Well, that was a great sack by Tennessee right there. But when I sit here and I have teams being shoved down my throat and your throat, because you read the same publications, and I do. I like Phil Steele's book. You know, it's a quick reference. You can find out who's coming back. You can find out who's hired and all this bunch of stuff. We all look at those books because Phil Steele has a good book. First book I bought this year was Athlon because it's the first one that come out. But you sit there and you read these books and they're sitting there telling you, oh, Doo-Doo State's going to be good this year because they're supposed to be. And you're like, no, that's not how it works. There's coming a day that Clemson is not going to be good. And it's going to be a very sad day for me. And y'all are going to have fun talking trash to me. And you should, because that's what we're doing. We're just having a good time. But I'm going to tell you, we are going to have a day where Clemson is not good. Take Nebraska. One of the things, one of the teams I always like to reference, and every now and again, if you watch my show, you hear this all the time. I'll reference Nebraska. Go pull up Nebraska football from 1970 to about 2002. Pull up their seasons, their results. It's outrageous. Several years of going to the national championship and losing it. But winning 3 national championships in like a 4-year period. The Huskers in the 90s, I still say the best team I've ever seen play football was the 1995 Nebraska Cornhuskers. Best team I've ever seen in my entire life. I love my Tigers. You can hear Bobby Dirkens Jr. He's losing his mind up there. He's with his mama. He's not in the elements. He's just mad. You hear that? He told him to stop. Better stop. Sounds like me when I see the taxes. When I see my accountant. This is how much you owe this year, Bobby. Actually, poo-poo a little. No, okay, getting back to this. He'll make his noise in the background. Nebraska did amazing for 32 years. I'm just telling you. Yes, he's a Clemson fan. Good Christian Clemson fan. Hey, keep him up there! Hey! I'm begging for help. No, but I'm going to tell you right now, Nebraska won for many years. Many years. I mean, they won for over 3 decades. The majority of the 3 decades, they had at least 10 wins. Lauricia says, thanks, Bobby. He's 3 and he's thrilled. He now loves you even more. Well, you tell, hey, buddy, listen to me, Griffin. It's Bobby Dirkens. I want you to listen to me. Be good. Use your manners. Say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. Say please and thank you. You'll do quite well in life. Bobby Dirkens, glad you're on here. Glad you're on here. Well, but here's what I'm saying is Nebraska did great for all those years, and then we know what they are right now. They've been struggling. It's bad. I get it, okay? I know Clemson is going to have that same struggle one day, and it might come sooner than what I can even think. But I'm telling you right now, with everything that is going on, the coaching that is staying there, with the money that is being poured into the program, with the players who's committing to Clemson, with all the good things that's going on, I am just saying, we need to enjoy now. We need to stop listening to all this piss that's been going on. Terry Ledbetter says, what's up, Bobby? May there to you. Somebody just made a great point. Chick Robertson, I think he actually said this earlier, and I was going to say something. Said, Bobby, remind the talking heads that Deshaun Watson in his junior year threw 13 interceptions. His senior year threw 17 interceptions. Won the Natty. I think it was sophomore year he threw 13, then he threw 17. It was something like that. Here, listen to me. For everybody who's losing their mind on Trevor Lawrence and even Clemson fans who's being douches about it, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of even these bandwagon Clemson fans. I've been a Clemson fan as long as I can remember. I'm not even going to go through it. He never made a senior. Deshaun never was a senior. He was a junior. He threw a ton of interceptions. I do get what you're saying. He had a lot of interceptions he threw. Ton of interceptions. Here's the thing about Watson. Watson held it together. He won the games. Listen to me, just like Trevor's doing right now. The year we won the national championship with Trevor Lawrence. Hey, listen, all the talking heads, all of you who are being paid a lot of money and you're not paying attention, listen to me. For the love of God, would you listen to me? Listen to me. He threw so many interceptions in his junior season, they almost lost to Troy. They almost lost to North Carolina State. They did lose to Pitt, and they still won a national championship against Alabama. If you want to be a professional and if you want people to take you seriously, the truth is you're going to have to look at history and stop sticking your nose up to it. And I'm going to tell you this, and I mean this, I got a lot of people who I watch on these big shows, just like you do. Just like you do. If we met them, we would like them, and I'm not taking out, and you have to understand, some of these people are saying what they're saying to stir the pot a little bit to get more viewers. I get it. I'm not dumb to that. They're working that. That's like Feinbaum. A lot of people think that Feinbaum's some idiot. I have said this 100 times. I think Feinbaum's a brilliant, genius man who's stirring the pot to get viewers to his show. Even if they hate him, why? It's still viewers. That's a brilliant man. Do I think that Feinbaum thinks that Clemson sucks? No. Here's the reason why. Because every now and again he lets it, what? Listen to me. He lets it slip how good Clemson is. If an old redneck boy like myself can realize that, my God, can you not realize it? I do. Oh, he'll get on there with his half-bald head and he'll say something really condescending and you're sitting there going, oh my God, I hate this guy, and he's racking in the money. You know why? He knows what he's doing. People will come and flock to his channel, I say channel, but his show, and I'm used to channels. And they sit there and they watch him say what he says. And I'll guarantee you when the show is over and he goes back to his dressing room, he's chuckling, going, I wonder how many Clemson fans I pissed off, because there's no way they actually believe that I think they're bad. And I want to tell you this, if Feinbaum really does believe that Clemson's that bad, especially after they basically gave a vasectomy to Alabama on live television, then he would be an idiot. I'm just telling you, I don't believe he is. I mean, my God, he graduated from Tennessee. He's playing the system, y'all. He's a brilliant man, but where I lose it is with some of these guys, you can tell they believe it. They believe that Clemson's overrated. They believe that they're not that talented. They forget that just 8.5 months ago that Clemson beat Alabama's brains in. Alabama was sitting there waving the flag. If you remember towards the end of that game, Clemson could have put up even more points. It would have been in the 50s. They'd have to talk Saban off the Golden Gate Bridge. I'm just telling you. Hunter Porth asks a question, what is the funniest thing you have seen this season? I don't know. I think it's interesting to see South Carolina fans in 1 week go from we suck to we're great and we can beat anybody to them losing to Florida. Actually played Florida quite well. Let me tell you what happens, and this is just football 101. It's just football 101. The depth of Florida beat them. All right? I get it. The depth of Florida beat them. But South Carolina beating Georgia was pretty hilarious. Look, I hate South Carolina. I despise them. They're cocky. And I'm not trying to, no pun intended. I'm serious. They're cocky about nothing. Horrible, horrible football. Lord. I mean, it, like hilarious. But to see them beat Georgia fans and shut them up, it was great. was great. Georgia, and I got a good Georgia following, and I have respect for Georgia. Georgia's got a lot of tradition. The biggest problem with Georgia, and I remember this was like 2008, 2009. They'd started off pretty bad in the first few games, had dropped 2 unexpected games. All of a sudden, they're back up to possibly end up in the national championship run. So it was like one of the most confusing, schizophrenic states of all time. Because one week they hated Mark Richt, and 6 weeks later they loved him. He might get us in the championship game. We can stop talking about Herschel Walker. And now they're back to just talking about how great they recruit. Listen to me, Georgia fans, I've got some good following on here, so I'm not talking about the good ones. I'm talking about the annoying ones. Hey, did you see who we got coming in next year? Oh boy, are they going to tear it up like the other ones that you've pissed away? Huh? I had somebody send me a really nasty message. It was actually so dirty I deleted it. Not because I couldn't take the truth. It's because it's actually filthy, and there's kids who reads on my channel. Let me tell you, go ahead right now. If you get on here and you just have to be a sickening, nasty, horrible human being, I will treat you like a sickening, nasty, horrible human being and get rid of you. Yeah, this is the internet, and people's all adults and everything. You don't have to be sickening and nasty. You can make your point without it. He said something about, Clemson's still upset about Chubb and Gurley. Very cleaned up version of what he said, beating them. Can I go ahead and tell you, Clemson absolutely doesn't even have Georgia in their mind right now. Of years ago with Chubb and Gurley, man, what great backs they were. Man, how their talent was wasted by Georgia. Oh, God, y'all blew it with them. You want to talk about Chubb and Gurley beating Clemson? Ooh, like you're really stabbing us. You wasted those boys' talent. They should have went to another university to where they could have won more. And probably you ran Gurley so much and so hard, that's why when he played in the Super Bowl this flipping year, guess what? Listen to me. Guess what? His body had been so beat up by y'all having to overuse him because y'all couldn't call plays worth a flip. Go grow a brain. I'm so sick and tired when idiots get on my board. Right now we have 6 seconds left in the second quarter. Some of you are probably ahead of me. Alabama up 21-10 on a very underwhelming Tennessee team. A team who managed to lose to Georgia State. A team who managed to lose to the bicycle peddlers of BYU. A team who's managed to lose to basically anybody with a pulse. Somebody just said Bama misses the field goal. But listen to me right now. Bama will not drop. Bama could win this game by 1 point. They're not dropping in the polls this week. That's just how it is. Clemson will have to win the next 5 national championships just for ESPN to go, hey, Don, I think we need to stop giving Bama so much credit. Bama's a great program. Bama is a great program. Don't take away from that. But this season has not been decided yet. Last year, the season had been decided by a lot of people. Oh, Alabama's going to beat them. Oh, Alabama's going to beat them. Oh, I'm telling you, my years of doing this, I've never seen a team so strong of Alabama. Clemson comes out and brutalizes them. And then after that, you hear people going, well, where there was whispers around the SEC telling us that maybe they weren't that good. It's like, what is it, man? Tell the truth, you idiot. Oh, Lord. Clemson Tigers Nation just hit me up. Says, what happened to Tua? Quite honestly, I don't have the sound turned up on this because if it catches it on YouTube, YouTube will flag it. They won't be able to show it. They'll be all upset. And they'll want to sue a guy who ain't got no money. It's like YouTube needs my money. It's like, dear God. I really don't know. I do know that he's hurt. I do also know that since he's been hurt, that Alabama looks quite average. I mean, I'm not being a douche here. I'm going to set this down over here on this table. since he got hurt, Alabama looks quite average. Sheet Music asked a question. Who's the best quarterback in the country? Tua or Trevor? Listen, Tua Tagovailoa is very talented. He has the talent. And right now, everybody's hating on Trevor. They're hating on Trevor. Let me tell you why they're hating on Trevor. He's 6'6". He's living a dream of a story. He comes in this season. He's thrown more interception than what's been expected. He hadn't put these outrageous numbers, which, by the way, if anybody has a brain and they're not using their pubic hair to think, they will realize, listen to me, they will realize that Swinney has been pulling him a lot. He's not going to do this thing like LSU, where they leave Burrows in there till about halfway through the fourth quarter, when they could have pulled him halfway through the third to get his numbers up so he can win a trophy that if he ever gets in financial shape, he'll auction off to sell and make $500,000. We see that all the time. Swinney is pulling his starters out as soon as he possibly can. He's getting them out. He's not worried about the Heisman Trophy. A trophy that has been erroneously awarded to several people who God knows they didn't deserve it. I mean, it's just truth. So, my thought on this is that Trevor Lawrence is still the typical NFL quarterback type that you want to pull. He's 6'6". He can throw a missile. Everybody sits there and they take shots at him, and then he goes and he throws a pass that is brutally genius. Everybody's like, yeah, I shouldn't say that. I didn't mean it. I was just kidding. Psych. Hunter Porth keeps saying 2020 Clemson recruitment class continues to amaze me. You're right. It is amazing. Brian Brisset, or however you pronounce his name, Ukulele, all them boys, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. It's, all the talent is crazy. And if they all sign, if 90% of them sign, it's the greatest recruiting class ever. Sean D says, I'd rather have a national championship than a Heisman Trophy. Yeah, you're right. I mean, you got to think just a few years ago, Lamar Jackson had the Heisman Trophy. Look at Louisville football. I mean, I think Satterfield's doing great things up there. I'm not taking that away from him. I'm not. I like Satterfield. I think that if Tennessee really wanted to do great things, they would get Satterfield in there. They wouldn't have. Their AD wouldn't have been fired by flying out to try to secretly meet Mike Leach. Somebody said Brian Brisset, and I was looking at it and saying that, reading it at the same time. Mike Leach, what he done, he would have gotten his car and drove to Boone, North Carolina, look at Satterfield and say, we will give you anything to come coach us. Tennessee football, I guarantee you right now, would be a lot better off. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. They'd be way better off with Satterfield than what they are with Pruitt. I do, and this is always my analogy when I'm talking about positions coaches versus head coaches. You do realize that if you are a defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator at school, you're never a head coach. You're never good enough to be a head coach. Maybe our head coach thing's not your thing. But listen to me. You can make like millions of dollars as an offensive defensive coordinator. You realize that? Does that sink in with you? So if I tell you you're not a good head coach, that doesn't mean you go down to the cheese line and your family's homeless and they're living in a dumpster and they're eating out of a dumpster. I'm just saying it does not mean you're a good head coach. I don't think that Pruitt is kind of 50-50 jump ball with Pruitt. You can't tell whether Tennessee's just that bad and he can't do any better because they're that bad and they suck that bad, or he's just not a good head coach. He's a good position. He's a ridiculous defensive coach. He's just not all this other stuff. Watching the highlights, Illinois beating Wisconsin. That was great. Go ahead and put them out of their misery. Watching highlights of Florida right now beating South Carolina. That was great. Like it or not, that was a hold down the field on Florida, but that doesn't change whether Florida wins a ball game. I like how Will Muschamp's losing his mind. Losing his mind on the officiating, like they've messed up everything. No, Muschamp, your team has messed up everything. Texas just beat Kansas 50-48. For anybody who was screaming that Texas, you remember when Ellinger did that? We're back. You're wrong. You're not back. You're an okay football team. You're not bad. You're not horrible. Texas football don't even look like Texas football that I knew. I remember Texas football when Vince Young was there, and they went in, and they were down by like 2 touchdowns midway through the fourth quarter and turned around and beat the Southern Cal late in the fourth quarter. That was epic. If you wasn't alive during that, or whether you're a kid, you're about 4 years old or something like that, you need to go back and watch that game. That's pure domination. That was a lot of who's who of NFL football, who's even still in the league today. Somebody asked, how old are you, Bobby? Well, in dog years or human? I'll actually be 37 on November 1st. Yes, I'll be 37 on November 1st, not 3rd, 1st. Oh, Lord. So right now we're at halftime. Let me see. Yeah, that's just another. It just popped up on ESPN. Final alert. Texas beats Kansas. Yeah, we've already seen that. Willie B says, may there to you. May there to you, Willie B. Lord be with you. Help you. Give you strength. Thoughts. Sean D says, Texas says always wins one big game, says they're back. Yeah, I get sick of that. Tiger the Raven 18 says, I was 5 years old when Texas won that game. I won't tell you how old I was, but if you can do the math, you'll figure it out. I was about, let me think. I was 22, 23 when that game went on. It was a big game. I was definitely pulling for Texas because I'm going to tell you, here's one thing. Southern Cal was so annoying while they were winning. And you think that the media eats up Alabama right now? They were sickeningly infatuated with Southern Cal. I mean, listen to me. Reggie Bush could fart. Reggie Bush could fart. And at the bottom of the screen of ESPN, it would roll across, Reggie Bush has just farted a very potent, stinky fart. That's how much they were in love with it. Ready, set, chase. Bobby Dirkens is a fearless speaker of truth. He just donated $2 to the cause. Thank you, my kind friend. I've never seen you on here, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I will enjoy every last drop of that beer. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. We will take that. I'll drink a nice ice cold beer and be like, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Willie B says, I subscribed. Well, thank you. Pass along to everybody else. Be the best decision you ever made. Sean D says, what is the greatest football game you have ever seen? Of course, I'm going to name a Clemson game. The national championship where he won 44-16. Greatest game I ever seen. That's a given. It's a Clemson game, 44-16. Some more games I'll give you. I was at the triple overtime game, I want to say in 2004, 2005. Number 3, Miami. They ended up beating us, but I was at that game. It was so loud that you could feel the rumbling of the stadium shake you. You almost want to throw up. I've never been to the game, and I've read that was one of the loudest games on record. Next, I would say 1995 Nebraska. They played in the national championship against Florida. All the talking heads, and believe it or not, a lot of them are still around right now. They're right now. They're the ones who saying Clemson's overrated. They're saying Clemson's playing nobody. And I know Clemson can't help that Florida State decided to suck. They can't. They could go out and score. You realize that all these non-conference games are scheduled years in advance. If you don't, you're an idiot. I'm offended by that. You should stop being offended and go, I'm an idiot, and go check out how many years in advance that most games are scheduled. All right? So if you're still that offended, just go away. I have enough good people who comes on here. Last thing I need is the village idiot who escaped, and he's on here, trying his hand at typing comments. 1995 Nebraska, Tommy Frazier. The year before, they had lost the national championship to Charlie Ward and the Florida State Seminoles in the Orange Bowl. I was a great team. Or it was a couple of years before that. In the 95 Nebraska, Tommy Frazier, they play Florida State. And you can go look this up on YouTube right now. Stay with me. But later on, go and check out 1995 Nebraska versus Florida. It's Fiesta Bowl. You had all these talking heads going, Florida looks great. Florida plays on grass. Nebraska plays on turf all this time. Nebraska, listen to me, Nebraska's going to lose because Florida plays on grass. This game's going to be played on grass. Florida in a landslide. Nebraska beat them 62-24. One of the greatest games I've ever seen in my entire life. Ever. It was fun. Because the same morons who said that Clemson couldn't do what they did. Listen to me. Let's do this. It's the same ones who were saying that Florida was going to kill them. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. That's it. Let me go back up here. David Atkins just donated $1 worth of ice cold beer to Bobby Dirkens. David, thank you so much. I appreciate it, David. I appreciate you coming on here. I've seen a couple of comments. I don't get to answer all the comments. Lord, I got Bobby Dirkens Jr. and Bobby Dirkens Jr. just trying to take the red out of my blood. I don't get to comment on here, but I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, David. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, everybody, any dollars, cents, or even some belly button fuzz that's donated, appreciate every bit of it. Just don't send me naked Barbies with their hair chopped off, with their hair colored with markers. That's weird. Okay, we're still at halftime. Oh, let me see. They're giving an update on Penn State and Michigan. Michigan just sucks. shell of history. I've talked about this 100 times. What is a shell of history? It's a team plays in the same stadium with the same fights on. They wear the same uniforms. Same conference, most of them. They're not the same. They're not. You can wish, you can hope. You can sit there and say, well, Bobby Dirkens, I'll tell you right now, Michigan has won. And you sit there and you start telling me about 35, 40, 50, 60 years ago. There's some of you who will even, listen, you will reference national championships won when Adolf Hitler was still alive. How pathetic are you? I mean, let's be blunt with ourselves. If you're going to do that, let's just go ahead and talk about Yale football, who's won more national championships than everybody. Proving to me that you're using your anus to think, not the planet, your anus to think instead of football. I mean, that's one thing to try to trash talk a little bit. When your trash talk just becomes stupid, I mean, my God, when you're behind, just go ahead and quit. It's like saying, I'm in a deep hole, but I'm going to dig myself out of this one. You keep digging deeper. All right, I'm going to check some different games. We're still at halftime here. I ain't got my glasses on. Y'all forgive me. You're mad at me, you can go die somewhere. Darius Jones says, my dog's problem is 100% coaching. Yeah, it's been that way for about 20 years, 30 years now. And I'm not being a douche here, I'm telling you. Y'all have recruited so well. And I'm saying this from, forget Clemson, forget me, forget all of this bunch. Here's the thing. Here's this one thing that we are, Florida State won, or Wake Forest won. When would you think that Wake Forest would be 6-1, Florida State would be 3-4? This morning I heard Lee Corso say that Florida State needs to honor Willie Taggart's contract. I hope they do, because that guarantees another 2 years of us blowing them out of the water. Maybe it'll get so bad we can burn down the stadium. I hope they honor it. I hope they honor his contract. That'd be great. We'll just continue to brutalize them. Can't remember what I was saying. Now back to Tennessee game. We're still hanging out. So let's talk about some teams. Let's talk about some teams here. Let's talk about where I think they stand. Let's talk about Alabama. Do I think Alabama's a bad football team? That would be the stupidest thing in the world. Alabama is who they are. Clemson is who they are. The teams who's following up to them at this point, listen to me, the team that's following up to this point, legitimately, is Ohio State and Oklahoma. I want to say this. I did not say that they're legitimate. I did not say they're a bad football team. I said up to this point, that's who's following it. Alabama and Clemson is, no matter who you're listening to, unless Clemson goes and dies and improperly touches the goat and they start losing a bunch of games. The truth is, Clemson and Alabama's still up here. Everybody else down here. I know that Ohio State's popping their chest, talking trash about beating a bunch of nobodies. And that's good that you're beating them commandingly. But I watched you play Northwestern. I watched you play against Miami of Ohio. Ooh. Somebody just said Clemson's not playing very well. They won every game except for one by double digits. They won by 35 today. Vegas said they were going to be up by 24. What more do you want? James Miller says Ohio State would beat Clemson. Ohio State hasn't played anybody. Clemson's played more of anybody than they have. Sean D said, did I see the Ducks game? No, who won that game? Did the Ducks win it? Real McCoy said, I'd like to see him run the ball. I would like to see Clemson run the ball a little more. The Ducks won the game. And this is what I said to the Ducks at the beginning of the season. The truth is that I said this to the Ducks at the beginning of the season. I said this. You can go find my preview I did for both the Ducks and Auburn. I said, Ducks, if you go and you lose to Auburn in the first week, and then you run the table, when you get left out of the playoffs, don't cry or moan or be pissed or be mad. Because Auburn is going to come in, they're going to represent the SEC to their mightiest. Oh, they're going to come in there and they're going to really represent the SEC. Because when the SEC in the regular season play, listen to me, they play other teams in the regular season, not bowl season, because by the bowl season, they're already pissed they didn't win the national championship, when actually in the past couple of years, the only team to win the national championship is either Alabama or Clemson. And the only other team aside from that to win it in the playoff series is Ohio State one time. And before that was Florida State. So in years, it's only been those 4 teams to win the national championship. And Florida State, they're a bag of piss. And Ohio State, I mean, they won that national championship, but since then, I mean, what do they have to boast? Getting murdered by Purdue last year? The year before that, they got murdered by one of the most anorexic offenses I've ever seen in my life in Iowa. Iowa's had the same coach for 20, 25 years. And there's part of that that's kind of impressive, that they stuck with him. There's part of it that goes, they just don't care anymore. If I was Kirk Ferentz, I'd just go out there and I'd sit and I'd go, yep, I don't feel like trying this week, but these idiots here keep me around. It doesn't matter. Because who wants to come to Iowa? I wished I had that job. I know some of y'all think less of me, like, wouldn't you want to fight and wouldn't do this? To a point, yes, but to a point when I looked around me and I go, I've got this job no matter what. As long as I don't get caught having physical relationship with a squirrel, I can just stay here. Yeah. And by the way, for anybody who's out here jonesing, who are jonesing over Oklahoma and how good they're doing. First of all, Jalen Hurts is a very talented athlete. I don't think that he is amazing. Okay? I don't think that Jalen Hurts is an NFL quarterback. I do think his passing has got some better, but not enough to, everybody lose their mind. But you listen to me, and you listen to me good. And I don't care if you think I'm an idiot. I sleep just fine tonight between my sexy hot wife, 2 pillows, and 1 comforter. And the birthday suit the Lord gave me. But Oklahoma does this almost every year. They put up astronomical numbers. They have these great plays where they're throwing the ball all over the field. And you think they're great. And then they play somebody. I love it. All right, so I'm going to go on to this Tennessee game right now. By the way, I saw Eric McCartney in here. Eric McCartney owns the Sawmill Shop out of Greenville, South Carolina. Let me go ahead and tell you right now. Eric McCartney, yes, Sawmill Shop. He builds these wonderful custom signs. You need to go check him out on Etsy. Yes, I said Etsy. Don't take my man card from me. I'm going to go drink a beer to wash all the sissiness down from me from saying Etsy. Go check out, let me tell you this, he makes these wonderful signs. All jokes aside, go check him out. I would not trust him with the keys to my car, but I trust him to make a custom sign. You give this guy some paint, He's got wood shavings all over his pants all the time before he's cutting, customizing, renovating. Great signs. Sawmill shop, go check it out. Let me tell you right now, if you want to impress your wife, this would be the time to get a sign. Sawmill shop. Check it out right now here at McCartney. Good to see you on here, buddy. Good to see you. We need to go to another chicken fight together. Good to see you, buddy. Somebody asked me where I live. I live in upstate South Carolina. I can't tell too much because, listen to me, a lot of people try to show up in my house to get your picture with me. Though I do photo shoots here and there, I just try to go under the radar. I mean, look at Tennessee right now. Tennessee is doing their very best to give Alabama a fight. This is a team who has nothing to lose. Somebody's asking me about the wagon turnover with Oklahoma. First of all, I hope nobody was hurt. A lot of people says the girl was hurt. I hope she wouldn't. That was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Listen to me. We are going to run a wagon out there with 2 horses. Flip that darn thing over. Hilarious. I'm not. And let me. Y'all probably a little ahead of me right now. Y'all probably a little ahead of me right now. But I'm gonna tell you right now what I would do. If I'm Tennessee, I throw the ball to Marquez Callaway. Marquez Callaway, I mean, Jennings is a beast, but too many people forgot about Marquez Callaway. That's an NFL talent right there. I've had people tell me, you're wrong. Well, you're wrong. Ole B says, I live in Greenwood. I know people in Greenwood. Simeon D. Theo, are you a hater, boy? What am I hating on? Talking about ISIS? Yeah. Talking about doo-doo? Yeah. We're talking about taxes and, oh, does he turn the corner? Oh, that's holding. My God, Tennessee, don't throw a hold. My Lord, don't hold. Sean T, may there have a few beers on me. Go Tigers. Thank you for $5 worth of delicious ice-cold crystal beer. Appreciate it. Glad you're on here. By the way, I don't know if you ever seen it, but I've got some Ed Orgeron videos on here where Coach O actually comes on my show, and he's talking, and he does his thing, and I think you'd appreciate that. He comes on here and talks about all the great things I'm going to do. Thank you so much. You need to come on here. I'm very, very happy. Very, very happy. I hope y'all enjoy yourselves. Thank you so much for that $5. I appreciate it. Somebody asked, one hyped vlogger, thank you for coming on here. Never seen your name on here before. If I miss you, Lord forgive me. Help me. Florida, Georgia. That's very, very difficult. You know, Missouri losing today, and I can't remember whether Missouri was going to be allowed to play in I didn't know if they were going to be allowed to play in the SEC Championship since they got the whole postseason ban. Between you and I don't think that Georgia's going to roll over and die. But I think that Florida has more to play for Georgia at this point. Georgia felt like they were going to go to the college football playoff. Florida never felt that way. I mean, I know what players say in preseason. Let's be honest with ourselves. Did Florida really think they were? Because if they did, first of all, they're stupid, then I don't think they're going to win it. But I think that if just getting to the championship game would be a big deal for Florida. If I was Florida. I think that if Trask and the boys can stay healthy and the defense from Florida can play tight, I believe they can actually run with and beat Georgia. South Carolina's already showed us what it's like to beat them. You can use that template. You can pull some tricks from there. And, yeah. So, I'm going to get me something to drink. Y'all forgive me. I'm going to have to go off of here for a second. We're an hour and 5 minutes in. If this offends you, please never visit my channel again. But Bobby Dirkens, I've been kind of, oh, almost interception. Lord. I'm going to go get me something. Let me see. Gonna go get me something. Y'all forgive me for a second. Get me a drink. Clear my throat up. Yes, with my good talking voice like I got right now. A lot of people don't realize you have to have a good celebratory voice like I have right now to get you anywhere in life. Yeah, that's the number one thing I look at. If you're not a professional like myself, you don't realize that. Here's why, because you're not looking at the right thing. Am I talking in the distance and it's like I'm in a canyon? Yes. Is it kind of funny and weird in some form and shadow? Yes. Is some of you probably been leaving some comments on my board that the Lord would be happy about? Probably. But I'll take it. All right, I'm back. Thank y'all for not going anywhere, even though I left for a second. Glad Wake Forest beat Florida State. I like that. That's good. I told somebody this statement. I made this statement this week to somebody about the state of college football. That if LSU wins out, listen to me, wins out, KP says coffee talk with BD, you're right. If LSU wins out, except for the Alabama game, so they lose one game, if they lose to Alabama by 10 points or less, it's Alabama and LSU in the college football playoff. And before y'all tell me that I'm wrong, look, I don't mind other opinions. I'm just telling you, before you used to go, oh no, that could never happen. You remember that year, about 9 years ago, somewhere in there, where LSU beat Alabama in the regular season, beat them. Les Miles' team beat them, 9-6 or something like that. Oh, we gotta get them back in there. Two teams out of not the same conference, the same division, gets into the college football. And that time there was no playoffs. It was a national championship. They hung their middle finger to every team outside of there. Outside of those two teams, and said, these are the two teams we need in the national championship. And that's when all this craziness started. Really cranked up. KP said, worst national championship game. You're right. It was one of the most boring games, not just national championship, one of the most boring games I've ever watched in my entire life. Even if you're an Alabama fan, you might even be happy that you won, but you're sitting there going, God. If that excited you, let me tell you about a whole new experience that will bring joy and happiness to your world. Watching glue dry. And if that makes you excited, let me know. I will upload a video of me gluing a board to a table and carrying you through the process. I won't even narrate it. We'll just keep the camera on it. It'll be a live stream. You can watch it dry. Periodically, I'll walk through and go, is the board completely sealed to this? Is the glue dried? Not yet. I love going and watching those interviews with Saban back then, because you can tell by looking in his face, he even knows he shouldn't be in there. Sean D says, you're one of my favorite YouTubers and one of the funniest on YouTube. Sean D, I don't know if you've been talking to my mama. I don't know if somebody's paying you money. But I appreciate you saying that. It really does mean a lot to me. Lord be with you, help you, be good. Hope your children are not born naked. You be good. Sean T says the lights in Alabama Stadium are annoying. God forbid anybody's epileptic. KP says, what kind of glue are we talking about? Some's quick set, set quicker than others. No, I'm talking about the long one. I'm talking about the ones that takes forever for it to dry. Not the fast ones. Not like a super glue where like in a minute you can't pull your fingers apart. Somebody said 2013. If I remember 2013, was that not the Notre Dame Alabama game? Notre Dame went undefeated, had Stephon Tuitt on the team. I mean, I had a good football team. Blew it like you wouldn't believe. I'm telling you right now, I'm watching Alabama. I beg to God Tennessee can somehow win this game. Because this backup quarterback, and by the way, don't be surprised when Alabama's still number one Monday morning, even if they win by 1 point over Tennessee. North Carolina's way better than Tennessee, and we're still taking crap for it. Let's hand off those ball downfield, and oh my God, was that Ruggs? Drops the ball? Hold up, this is frozen. What's going on here? I don't know what's going on. It is frozen. I'm not talking about the movie. Says it's still right now recording. Can anybody, hey, everybody message me right now. Can you still see me? Am I moving or is it frozen? It's frozen on my phone. Tiger Raven 18, 2018. Well, I might have to shut it off. Somebody says you froze. Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? Let me know. Can you still hear me? Lord, I don't know what's going on. Maybe the devil's trying to take me off here because I'm doing good stuff. You know what I might have to do? I might have to cut this off and come back on. Will y'all listen to me if I come back on? Y'all let me know. I'm not trying to put you in a bad place. I'm not trying to make you feel fickle. I like to use the word fickle. I really don't know what it means. M. Blue Horn. Alright, look. Since this is frozen, I am going to turn this off. Now, I have to let it warm up. I have to let this warm up. Or not warm up. Load up. Once I let it load up, we should be good. But y'all be good. If I can't get my phone back up, y'all know that I appreciate everything. Y'all be good. Take care of yourselves. I appreciate you liking the video before you get off. I really do. Hit the subscribe button. Turn on the notifications. It lets you. It notifies you. That's what the word notifies means. It notifications notifies you when I'm coming on here. Now I'm not going to show up at your house. Expect to eat with you. Though that would be funny in some sort of sense of way. If Bobby Dirkens just showed up at your house and went, "Hey, would you like to dine today? What you eating?" I'm not going to do that. But I appreciate that. I'm Bobby Dirkens. You keep showing up. I'll keep showing out as long as this phone does not freeze up on me. Bobby Dirkens.